Fusion, the latest set coming out in Yu-Gi-Oh! We're gonna get new Danger Monsters, we're gonna get new Noble Knights, and a bunch of other great cards. But in today's video, we're not just gonna be talking about Danger Monsters and Noble Knights. I'm gonna be going over 10 of the best cards to pick up out of this set. Generally, when I do these videos, I want to go for more of the generic cards in the set. Cards that I think are going to be used not only in archetype specific type of decks, but decks that are not archetype specific that can be splashed around everywhere. If you guys are looking for those type of cards, this is the perfect video for you. So with all that being said, let's get into it. Without further ado, let's begin.
Ice on my wrist, looking kinda cool. Bad bitch with me, she ain't tryna move. Niggas staring at me, what you tryna do? Got me looking at my watch, and it's time to do.
Alright guys, so this is the best cards in Soul Fusion. I'm gonna go over cards I personally think are really good in this set. And also, please remember guys, before a lot of you guys get your panties in your ass, 1 is not better than 10, 10 is not better than 1. These are all a conglomerate of cards I think are very solid come out of the set. So, with that being said, let's begin. Number 10, Chaos Dragon, Levianeer. First and foremost, I want to say almost every card in Soul Fusion has amazing artwork. Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG, they must have hired some new artwork guy because everything's been pretty dope recently. Kind of similar to Magic the Gathering in my personal opinion. But let's get back to Chaos Dragon, Levianeer. Cannot be normal slash set. Must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 3 light and or dark monsters from your graveyard. When summoned this way, you can apply the appropriate effect based on the attribute of monsters banished for its special summon. Also, this card can attack this turn. You can only use the effect of him once per turn. So you can only use one of his effects, I'm assuming. So if you bring him out by special summoning a light, by only using light monsters, you special summon a monster from your graveyard in defense, which is solid. If you bring them out by using only the darks, you can out by only banishing darks, you can shuffle 1 card from your opponent's hand into the deck. That's solid as fuck too. That's really good. Then if you use light and darks to bring them out, you can disrupt 2 cards on your board. So honestly speaking, it has some pretty solid effects where you can do only light, bring back graveyard, dark, he can hurt your opponent's hand. Very reminiscent with the Layer of Darkness deck, and then light and dark, pop up 2 cards, 3000 beater. Definitely a card you can use in Light Sworn, and you know, a lot of those grass look greener decks if you can pull the stuff off. So with that being said, I think for what he does, simple effect, amazing artwork, 3K basic, he's really cool to tech in certain decks. I think he definitely deserves to be on the list at number 10 out of all the cards in the set because he's just that good. Number 9, Extra Toe. Now Extra Toe is the ultimate troll card that I believe will be able to just annoy the heck out of people in the format to come. Simple effect, both players must send a card from their hand to the graveyard to declare an attack. Why is this good? It's good because if I have Dark Law and this on the board, you can't attack me. If I have Macrocosmos and this on the board, neither of us can attack. So if I'm playing Burn, it's like this is the ultimate troll that just screw you over. Same thing goes from if you have that continuous spell, Dimensional Fisher, and this on the board, if you have all monsters in your hand, you can't send them to the graveyard, you can't attack. So I think for what this card does, it's just decent because you can lock the opponent out with a Macrocosmos in this, or if you have Dark Law in this. And if you aren't locking your opponent out, if you're playing a deck that just grinds out with 1 monster, and your opponent's playing a heavy field spam deck, and if they try to just waste all their resources to attack for game and you flip this up, they may have to just decide to attack with 1 monster, and then on your turn you can just F them up. So with that being said, I like Extra Toe. I'm pretty sure this card is going to get used somewhere down the line, if not right away, somewhere in the future. This card will be one of those cards people look at 5 years from now like, hey, this card is good, let's just lock the opponent out. Number 8, Sky Striker Maneuver Vector Blast. Simple effect, I like this card really much. If you control no monsters in your main monster zones, both players send the top 2 cards from their deck to the graveyard. Then if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, shuffle into the deck all monsters your opponent controls in the extra monster zone. Now you guys may be thinking, well, this is kind of like a watered down Dark Hole or a Geki. I believe if you guys are thinking that, you guys are right in a sense, but the reason why I like this card is because it doesn't destroy like Dark Hole or Regeki does, it shuffles. So all of your opponent's extra deck cards that says cannot target, cannot be destroyed by battle, by card effects, and etc. guess what? This ain't targeting. This ain't destroying. This is shuffling into the deck, and it does not target, which is huge for a lot of those cards that try to lock the opponent out, that try to lock you out when just wrecking your face by going first. So overall, I like this card. Outside of Sky Strikers, I can just see people side decking this as a tech card against people who like to play control style lockdown based decks. So with that being said, I had to make my list at number 8 because it's just really good at just outing the opponent. I can definitely see this as a solid side deck card for the near future. Number 7, Frightfur Patchwork. Now, going into this video, I was trying to find as many generic cards as possible, but just like most Yu-Gi-Oh sets nowadays, it's going to be hard finding generic cards. But Frightfur's Patchwork is definitely going to be a card, no matter what the rarity is, a lot of players are going to be looking for, because this is a card that people have been waiting for almost over a year, maybe 2 years now. Simple fact, it adds more consistency to the Frightfur deck. Add 1 polymerization and 1 add monster from your deck to your hand. You can only activate 1 Frightfur Patchwork per turn. Simple effect, it adds consistency to the Frightfur deck, which allows you to OTK. Nothing more to be said. Pick it up, you can sell it, keep it, hold on to it. Just a card everyone's been waiting for, so yeah, Frightfur Patchwork, you see it, grab it. Number 6, Danger Tsuchinoko. So, going into this set, if you guys are Yu-Gi-Oh vendors, want to be backpack vendors, or people who just like to make a little money off the game, the Danger deck is definitely something you want to pick up. But outside of that, Danger Tsuchinoko, outside of the Danger deck, it seems like a solid card. It says you can reveal this card, you know, the typical Danger spell by revealing and discarding. Then his effect is, if this card is discarded, special summon 1 Danger Tsuchinoko from your hand, and if you draw a card, if this card is discarded, you can special summon this card. You can only use this effect of Danger Tsuchinoko once per turn. So pretty much he allows you to spam to the field and drawing a card, which will allow you to make Link Summon plays. He's a secret rare for a reason. I think this is going to be the card that makes Dangerous a little bit more powerful, because it gives him more field presence, which brings out Link monsters, which is going to allow you to OTK the opponent and just abuse the extra deck, which is really, really good. So yeah, pick this card up, secret rare. Everyone's hyped about it on Zodiac Duelist. It's a really solid card for the Danger archetype. Number 5, Heritage of the Chalice. So just like Dangerous, Noble Knight's got a little bit of support to set as well, and it is awesome. This card pretty much says add 1 Noble Knight monster or Noble Knight arms from your deck or graveyard to your hand. If your Noble Knight monster is equipped with Noble arms, it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard. While this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use 1 Heritage of the Chalice once per turn. Solid card because it adds consistency to Noble Knights. Noble Knights was always a deck that was pretty solid, and from what Noble Knight players have always stated, the deck is a little inconsistent, so this card adds more consistency for that deck. It's ultra rare. It's probably gonna be a solid 10 bucks on pre-release, maybe 15, 20. Pick it up if you guys want to make some money, and if you guys are a Noble Knight player, even better. Number 4, Condemned Witch. Now, this is a card people think it's pretty trash. I think it's really good. I'm hoping people think it's trash, and I'll just pick up a playset and sit on it because it's that good. When this card normal summon, add 1 forbidden quick play spell from your deck to your hand. During your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can tribute this card, special summon 1 level 4 fairy from your deck except Condemned Witch. You can only use each effect of Condemned Witch once per turn. So your normal summon, you can add either Forbidden Lance, Forbidden Chalice. Most of the time, you're probably going to be adding Chalice from your deck to your hand with this card. Then you can tribute summon him to special summon a fairy from your deck to your hand. If you're playing rituals, you can special summon one of your ritual monsters, I believe they're fairies, and start doing your ritual things. Other than that, it's a solid card. I mean, you add it's a tutor for the forbidden spells, which are pretty solid. Even though they're not seeing play right now, I can definitely see Forbidden Chalice see playing in the near future against decks like Dangers and etc. So that, with that being said, it may not be immediately used. It's one of those cards to worry about a year or 2 from now when people are looking for tech cards to play. And this is something that's going to add more consistency. And once again, that artwork is freaking awesome, man. That artwork is amazing. Then it has a big booty 2K defense. Nothing more to be said about that. Number 3, Thunder Dragon Titan. Now, just like the last few archetypes I talked about, Thunders are another archetype you guys want to pick up going into the sneak peek for the set, and just picking up and just going into this you know, this next format in general with the release of the set. In the OCG, Thunders are a pretty popular deck by themselves. More of recent, they have been popular with mixing with the dinosaur deck, and Thunder Dragon Titan shows some of their power. Simple effect, must be either fusion summoned or special summoned by attributing 1 non-fusion thunder effect monster during a turn that a thunder monster's effect was activated in the hand. and was not negated, in which case you do not use polymerization. Your opponent cannot add cards from their deck to their hand except by drawing them. If this card would be destroyed by a battle or a card effect, you can banish one Thunder monster from your graveyard instead. Pretty annoying effect. He pretty much Thunder King Ryos your opponent only. He has a big attack, decent defense, and then he protects himself from by battle or card effect. So yeah, nothing more to be said about him. He's a pretty good fusion monster. He doesn't need polymerization. If you play Pure Thunders, they have their own fusion spell, which is awesome. Overall, solid archetype, solid card. Pick up everything for this archetype if you guys go to the sneak peek, or if you guys just want a fun deck to toy around with. Number 2, Extra Foolish Burial. Once again, another card to think. Moving forward right away, it's not going to be that good, but going into a future format, it could be solid. Pay half your life points, send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. You can only activate one Extra Foolish Burial per turn. You cannot set any spell or traps during your turn you activate this card. So, off back, you can use it with Dante. You can use it with the Herald Synchro monster to add a ritual spell card from your deck to your hand. Solid card. It's not gonna be used right away, I think. Only in Herald of Perfection decks, because it allows you not to play that one Gale Drugger card that plays 3,000. This allows you to pay half to send an extra deck monster from the deck to the graveyard. So yeah, man, pick it up. Solid card if you're gonna play Heralds. If you're not gonna play Heralds or a ritual deck, solid card for the future. I mean, a lot of you broken players out there who knows how to play the game and know how to play it well, pretty sure you guys could probably tinker up something solid to use. Cards like this typically are ran in OTKs. I was thinking about maybe you can use it with Naturi Exterio. Who knows? But yeah, man, I think it's gonna be a solid card to pick up. I mean, pick up the playset and just sit on it. And last but not least, the last card I'm gonna talk about for this video is Folgo Justice for Hire. Now, I'm gonna stress enough. The last going through the set, I didn't really see a lot of cards I liked, and my last card I'm gonna add is gonna either be this or the this Cyber's Wyvern, Clock Wyvern card, which is like you normal summon him and you special summon a token, and you can just link off with that, which is solid. But I had to pick Folgo Justice for Hire to add him on the list because he's generic, which is what I was looking for, which is the criteria for this list. But also, he allows you to draw cards, and you already know the more consistency your deck has, the more destruction and victories you can get. Then not to mention, his artwork is freaking awesome. I really love his artwork. Pack pretty much reads: if this card is link summoned, you can special summon one for higher monster from your deck in defense position, but with a different type. From the materials used for this link monster special summon, if a card or cards your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can draw one card. Then if you control 3 or more for higher monsters with a different name, draw 2 cards. You can only use each effective Folgo Justice for Hire once per turn. For Hires have a new toy to play with, which is really good. Outside of For Hires, decks like Pendulums can run this, decks like Heroes can run this. I mean, all type of decks can run this card, and you know his effect's not anything special, but bring him out. If you tech a For Hire monster in your deck, you can immediately bring out a Link 4, which is solid like a Firewall Dragon. But outside of that, his own archetype is really solid, and then outside of his archetype is just good. Decks that just spit monsters to the board and continuously move out in their place, like Synchros and Link monsters, I can see him really shining in those decks. And then outside of that, artwork is pretty, which is why I had to add him on this list. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you guys like what you watch here and want to see more, I invite all of you to hit that subscribe button for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. I'm uploading as much as I can throughout the week, and I also vlog weekly as well. So if you guys like the type of content, come check out your boy. So with all that being said, once again, this is Chris for InnovationYGO, and I'm signing out. Peace and stay innovative. Deuces.